やっぱ名前くらいつけてやればよかった。タコピーとか。
I'm going to explain the ending and the reasons why Takopi sacrificed himself, leaving Shizuka and Marina to solve each other's problems on their own without his help. But before that, let's dive into the episode 4. We start with Azuma, Shizuka, and Takopi finding out that Marina's body has been discovered. As a result, their entire class are now suspects to this murder case. Shizuka doesn't seem worried about this. All she cares about is her plan to go to Tokyo, to his father's house, and get Chappie back. Meanwhile, Takopi tries to talk about Marina's difficult situation with her parents. But on the other hand, Azuma isn't thinking about Marina at all. Instead, Azuma is only thinking about himself. He's afraid of going to jail, afraid of becoming a burden to his family, and afraid of disappointing Shizuka. Next, we see all of Azuma's paranoia and overthinking. His plans keep failing because he always prioritizes Shizuka's first. His brother notices how incredibly stressed he is, and his mother is completely disappointed in him, in point that she already didn't care about Azuma. Seeing Azuma's desperation, Shizuka took advantage of it. She tells Azuma that he should turn himself into the police, became their scapegoat, explaining that the police are now considering her to be the main suspect. Then we see Azuma's backstory. It explains why he is so jealous of his brother and why his mother has such high hopes for him. Ultimately, Azuma sees helping Shizuka as a way to cope with the trauma from his own mother. He had always tried to help Shizuka in the past, but she just ignored him, at least until the incident with Marina's body. In the end, Azuma finally opens up to his brother. Azuma's brother tells that he understands his problems and promises that he will always be on his side. With this support, Azuma turns himself into the police. And she is also very manipulative towards him. Now, this is 180 degrees from the first 3 episodes. Now I hate Shizuka for this, but I can't blame her because it's not her fault. It's the trauma. Come on, man. She's just a child. We don't really know if Shizuka loves Azuma or not, but from what I can see, she doesn't. Okay? It seems like she is just using him, took advantage of him. And for Azuma's side, I want to give a big props, big applause to his older brother. He always cared for him and didn't see him as just a cowardly little brother. God damn! In episode 5, we start with Shizuka traveling to Tokyo by cruise ship and train. Eventually, she and Takopi find her father's apartment. When the door opens, they see that her father now has another younger daughter. There's 2 of them with his own new family. Her dad simply asks her, "What are you doing here, Shizuka?" Shizuka answers, "Dad, I came to see Chappie." But he just looked confused. Then the other little girl asks, "Papa, why does she keep calling you Dad, Papa?" This heavy scene implies that Shizuka's father has started a new family, of course, and completely abandoned his old one. After knowing this harsh truth, they run away and hide under a bridge. There, Shizuka makes a crazy plan to kill her father's new family, but Takopi refuses. He says, "Let's go home, Shizuka. I miss the old Shizuka." Shizuka misunderstands him and thinks he is saying that he won't help her anymore. Takopi quickly apologizes, telling her that, "I'm not smart enough to help you. Let's just go home now." But suddenly, Shizuka picks up a rock and hits Takopi hard on the head, man. God damn! At the exact moment she attacks him, we see a strange glimpse of Takopi's old memories. Fuck! In the second timeline, we're in the year of 2022, where Takopi is found by a mid-schooler named Marina. At school, her classmates talk badly about her, and she has no friends. The situation at home is even worse. Her mom is in a deep depression and threatens Marina, forcing her to go buy liquor. Marina has a scar on her face because her mother once sliced her with a glass bottle. Because of this, Marina is now deeply traumatized by sharp glass objects. The next day, Marina has a dream about being a great and loving mother to her own child. This makes Takopi realize that humans often copy the behavior of their parents. For example, Marina hits Takopi just like how her own mother hits her. So, Takopi decides to set Marina up with a male classmate who turns out to be Azuma. They started a relationship, and amazingly, Marina's mother becomes normal and happy again once Marina goes out with Azuma. But again, on one day, on the way home, Azuma sees Shizuka. Later at a restaurant, Azuma starts talking about Shizuka and sounds like he's crazy in love with her, revealing a new problem. Azuma cheats on Marina by not showing up for a dinner that her mother had prepared. Not understanding their relationship problems, Takopi goes looking for him. He finds Azuma and Shizuka together in a playground, flirting, though Shizuka seems to be doing it in a manipulative way. When Takopi returns to Marina's home, he finds her mother covered in blood. Turns out that the mother went berserk. She's mad at Marina, screaming, "Everything is my fault!" To defend herself, Marina grabs a piece of sharp glass from her mother and stab her. Fuck! Seeing this horrible situation, Takopi decides to go back to his home planet. He plans to use the big happy clock to rewind time so that he can kill the source of Marina's problem, and that is Shizuka, and finally make Marina happy. Feeling relieved that Takopi is truly on her side, Marina decides to give him a proper name. Then, in a final tragic moment, she takes her own life. Back on his home planet, Takopi asks his mother to use the big happy clock to go back in time so that he can kill Shizuka. His mother refuses, explaining that he has already broken the rule of happy world. As punishment, she begins a process to transform him into a new fresh Takopi, which erases all of Takopi's memories. However, Takopi fights back, hitting his mother and starting the big happy clock himself to escape back to Earth. But because the transformation had already begun, his memory begins to fade away during his journey. Takopi then goes back to the first timeline where he arrives on Earth and the first person he meets is Azuma. I can't even start it, man. This episode has a big plot twist that makes Takopi's character so much interesting. But can we address the elephant in the room? It's very dark, man. God damn, how come now that we see Marina's backstory and I'm crying, man? I'm crying. God damn. There's nothing as a bad kid. Only a bad parents and bad parenting. That in the first timeline, when Shizuka goes berserk and repeatedly beats him, the hopeless Takopi still doesn't give up on her. It's with Takopi that he wants to solve problems in a way that creates a good outcomes for everyone. He's that pure, man, this motherfucking octopus. But in the second timeline, his behavior is completely focused on making Marina happy. Even if it means he has to kill someone, he doesn't care. It's like he has no morals and will do anything to achieve that one goal. So I've been torn apart by these two versions. Of course, I love the first timeline Takopi that is so pure. He wants to help everyone, but he's too naive. Then this second timeline, I don't like the way that he wants to solve problems with killing, but it's logical. He knows what Marinas have gone through. Shizuka is the core problem. But again, I can't blame Shizuka because She's just a child. It's because of her environment makes her a bad person. Again, there is nothing as a bad kid, only a bad parents and a bad environment. In episode 6, Takopi and Azuma talk about their problems, admitting they don't know how to solve them. In the end, Azuma is happy that Takopi came to this world. He returns the happy camera and tells Takopi, if you go back in time, tell the old Azuma not to be afraid to fight his brother. The next day, Takopi finds Shizuka. She starts punching and kicking Takopi until she collapses from the hopelessness. But Takopi, look at her. Takopi simply hugs her and says, I am sorry for not trying to understand you. And with that sincerity, they become friends again. From then on, they start living together. Shizuka leaves her mother and Takopi is always there to hold her hand wherever they go. That night, Takopi reveals his final plan. His memories have returned and he shows Shizuka a broken happy camera with an old photo that can take them back to the day they first met. The camera can work one last time, but only if Takopi sacrifices himself to power it. Shizuka breaks down, crying and pleading. I can smile now. Please don't leave me, Takopi, please. His sacrifice creates the final timeline. In this final timeline, at school, Marina starts to bully Shizuka, but she suddenly stops, as if she remembering something. And also in this world, Azuma has his own friends and isn't focused on helping Shizuka. That night, Marina confronts Shizuka, furious that Shizuka's mom is with her dad. But when she sees a drawing of Takopi in Shizuka's notebook, something changes. They both start crying together and became friends, as if their memories and pain from the other timelines have suddenly returned. As they hold each other, we hear Takopi's final message. God. Finally, in after credit scenes, we see that Shizuka and Marina have become best friends in middle school. The story ends with them talking to each other about their parents' problems, finally able to support one another. The ending is probably a little confusing, but here's my analysis. The main reason Shizuka and Marina becomes friends is because their memories from the previous timelines are restored. This is why they understand each other's problems and can now avoid making the same mistakes again. And I think this is also true for Azuma. In this final timeline, he doesn't get involved with Shizuka. If he got involved, it will only cause problems for him and his family. As for Takopi, he sacrificed himself to fix what he could. Even though he couldn't solve their parents' issues directly, he gave Shizuka and Marina the shared memories they needed to stick together. This allowed themselves to support each other and reduce the harm caused by their families. Man, this is masterpiece. I'm literally crying watching this. God damn. I haven't cried since Your Lie in April Shigatsu wa Kimi no Uso. And now, Takopi no Genzai.